very much for your warm greeting and your kind words, and especially for hosting this forum. This is very timely with the President of Mexico, with the U.S. Senate set to get all the amendments in on this proposal that you just heard about by next Tuesday, and begin doing what we call marking up the bill, that is, voting on the bill in the Senate Judiciary Committee at the end of next week, I believe Thursday or Friday, with plans to get a bill completed in committee during this month. I welcome all of you who have counsel and advice and questions about that, and I'm told there's a timekeeper here. Where are the cards? Right here in front. Okay, too obvious. So if we are not able to cover all of the ground and the issues you want to ask about tonight, I'm staying. I have some staff members who will stay afterwards to visit with you to try to get your questions and advice while we have an opportunity to do this. I view this in very personal terms, and I thought the film, as best I could tell from watching it backwards here, was very meaningful, and I salute your family. I think about my daughter. When she left her home this morning to drop our youngest granddaughter at La Escuelita, and then our second grader over at the dual language program at Ridgetop, she knew that they would be there and she would be able to pick them up, and that her husband would be home at night, that they wouldn't have to worry about if they got stopped for a tail light or a quick stop at a stop sign, that their car would be confiscated. They own their home because they know they will be there next year and the year after that. And I think about the contrast between her family and the two little girls I was with on Monday afternoon, whose mother's being deported tomorrow unless something happens, and the tears in their eyes. And I think about a young woman, one of many dreamers that I met about a year and a half ago, who I talked with, who had tears in her eyes because she worked so hard to work through school. She still had a couple of years left, but felt that she would never be able to get the teaching certificate that she wanted here because she came without proper documents with her parents when she was a little more than a baby. These are the kind of personal issues that are at stake with immigration reform. And I have to say, of all the many controversies that we have there in Congress, this is the one issue that I'm particularly hopeful we can come together on a bipartisan basis this year and get an answer. I'm encouraged in that regard by a forum that I attended Monday at lunch. It involved John Carter, the Republican from Williamson County, and my good friend Luis Gutierrez, who's the chair of the Hispanic Immigration Task Force. They had a civil, long discussion of the issues we will talk about tonight. They didn't agree on everything. They recognized that neither Louis nor I nor someone with our perspective will write all this bill, that it must be a coming together of very different points of view to get an immigration bill that can be passed. When Valley Interfaith is true there too, but when Austin Interfaith has a victory in a bond election and wins 55-45, we celebrate that. But in the United States Senate, a vote of 55-45 is a defeat. It takes 60 votes to pass anything. We have a House leadership that has traditionally followed a rule that they only bring bills to the floor, with about 3 or 4 exceptions, that have the support of a majority of the Republican caucus. We don't know if that rule will apply with reference to this bill. But any bill that passes has to have bipartisan support. I proceeded after that luncheon to do a meeting with a group about this size at the Cesar Chavez Foundation with Luis, where we discussed it for about 2 hours. There are many problems with the bill as outlined, but I think if we could pass that very bill this afternoon, it would be a great step forward for our economy, for our families, and for the hundreds of people each day that wonder if they'll be home with their families at night. We have this chance. We must seize it now. We must place a priority on all aspects of comprehensive immigration reform that does mean spending some more money at our border and providing some more security there, though we're already spending more on law enforcement at the border than on the FBI and all the other federal law enforcement put together. So we have a tremendous investment there. But we need an investment in these individuals who can contribute so much to our economy. Thank you.